Hello, this is the week 13 recording. We're going to be going over lesson 22, which is talking about collecting random samples. So some lesson intentions for today are I'll be able to explain what it means for a survey to be random, be able to identify the best sample for a survey, and be able to determine if a sample is a good representation for that survey. So what does it mean for something to be random? Well, if it's random, there's no pattern and you can't predict what's going to come next. So it's kind of like rolling a dice. Every time you roll a dice, you have the same chance of getting the same of each number, but you never really know which one you're going to land on until you roll it. Or it's the same thing like spinning a wheel, right? That could be like a wheel at the carnival. It could be like that Wheel of Fortune wheel. Whenever you spin it, you never know what section you're going to land on. So like here's an example of a wheel. We don't know what number it's going to land on. We could use a random number generator, right? Because every single number between that 1 and 500 has the same exact chance of being chosen. And first letter of the quiz code this week is E as in ear. E as in ear, lowercase. So why do we want random sampling? It gives every member of a population an equal chance to be selected, and it also reduces bias. So if you're ever conducting a service or a survey and don't want to sound biased, make sure that it's random. Second letter of the quiz code is L as in light. L as in light. So you should have EL. Ways random sampling can take place. You can use that number generator we saw on the other slide. You can use the system. So you can say, for example, like every 10th person going into a grocery store or every 5th person that leaves the mall, anything where you're using a system. Or you could use a list. So you could like create a list of all the 7th grade students and then ask every 20th student to take the survey. So this one kind of combines those last two. Third letter of the quiz code is E as in equal. E as in equals. You should have ELE. All right, and a few other things is when you are looking to pick what is a good sample, you want to make sure that one, you have access to a wide variety of people. You don't want to have a survey where it's like, out of my 10 friends, I want to know what their favorite snack is, right? That's not a very big group of people. You want to make sure you have a lot of people so that way you can pick random people. And you want to also try and get one person from each group if possible. So that means like if you are in high school and you want to know what the favorite lunch food is, you want to try and ask a freshman, a sophomore, a junior, a senior. You want to try and get everyone, maybe even some teachers. Okay, so here's a question. It says that Brent wants to decide what type of music to play at the annual town parade. So he decides to take a survey. Which sample will give him the best results? Okay, well, he wants to know what type of music to play at the annual town parade. So when you think about a town parade, you have to think about what kind of people will be there, right? I'm pretty sure that there will be some children there. There's going to be the parents. There's also probably going to be some teenagers. There's probably going to be some like elderly people as well. There's going to be almost every single type of person that you could find in a town at that parade. So when we pick our sample, we want to pick one where it's going to give us the best variety for these type of people to be surveyed. So A says every third person who enters the town's grocery store. B says every third person who walks out of the high school. Every one of Brent's friends and classmates, or every person in the community theater play. Out of all of those options and locations, which one do you think would give you the most wide range of people? Well, if I were to ask high school students, that's probably only hitting this category. It's not kids, parents, or the elderly, so I don't want to hit B. Every one of Brent's friends and classmates. Well, I don't know how old Brent is, but if he has classmates, he's probably also a teen. So I don't want to pick C either. Every third person in the community theater. Well, this is kind of a biased group of people, right? Like, you wouldn't find someone necessarily who doesn't have interest in theater there, so that doesn't really hit all of these categories. So A in this case is going to be the best answer because if you think about it, everyone has to go grocery shopping at some point, right? So you have a really good chance of hitting each one of these categories. Fourth letter of the quiz code is P as in pink. P as in pink. All right, next question says that Janelle is taking a survey to determine the favorite cafeteria food for students at her high school. Which sample will give her the best results? Okay, so she is taking a survey to determine the favorite cafeteria food for students at her high school. Okay, which means that you want to try and hit the freshmen, the sophomores, the juniors, and the seniors. Okay, so we want to try and pick one of these that will give us one of each of these, at least. If I pick 10 people from the junior class, that's only from the junior class, right? I'm missing the other 3, so I don't want to pick A. One person from each lunch table. That could work. Let's read the last 2. 10 people from the marching band. Well, I feel like that's a biased group of people, right? It's too confined. And one person from each sports team. That's still kind of a bit biased, right? This sports team is a smaller group of people. I want to have a sample that gives me a more broad range of results. So that means that B is actually going to be the best one here. And if you think about it, like whenever you are in high school, you have lunch, usually with all 4 of these grade levels, and people usually sit with their grade level at a table. So B actually makes the most sense here. Fifth letter of the quiz code is H as in hat. H as in hat. Rhonda is taking a survey to determine the town's favorite activities for the annual carnival. Okay, so this is the town's favorite activities for the annual carnival. She asks all of the attendees of her mom's book club to fill out her survey. Is the sample Rhonda chose random? Why or why not? Well, she's talking about this whole town carnival, right? That probably a bunch of people go to. But the only people she surveyed were people in her mom's book club. So to me, that's not very random, right? Because she's missing a whole other like spectrum of town people. So no, it's not random, which means I'm going to cross off both yeses. And let's see which description matches why. It says no, she chose members that were not part of the population. No, she chose only members of a specific part of the population. Well, the book club members are part of the town, so they are in the population, but they are a specific part of it. So D. Whenever you're solving any of these kind of problems, it's super, super important to make sure that you read through all of the options. Okay, if you read through all of the options, you can usually cross off a few that you know are wrong right away and narrow it down to a few. Sixth letter of the quiz code this week is A as in apple. A as in apple. So to recap so far, you should have E-L-E-P-H-A, all lowercase. All right, Hans wants to determine the favorite pet supply store for pet owners in his town. So favorite pet supply store for pet owners in his town. He conducts a survey by going to a dog park and surveying dog owners. Is the sample Hans chose random? Why or why not? Well, think about pets. Is there more than just a dog you could have for a pet? I mean, tons of people have cats, fish, hamsters. You could even have a snake. You could have a gerbil. Like, there's so many different kinds of pets, right? Not just dog owners. So for me, that's not random because he's only surveying one type of pet owner. So no, so I'm going to cross off the yeses because I'm saying no, his survey is not random. He surveyed only dog owners instead of all pet owners. That one, that's what I just said, right? And C says no, he went to the dog park instead of a regular park. Well, in a regular park, you might not find pet owners. So regular park definitely isn't one. Seventh letter of the quiz code is N as in noon. N as in noon. Right, Whitney conducts a survey to find out the favorite snacks at her student school. Okay, so favorite snacks for her students at school. She uses a random number generator to select student IDs, and then she surveys every 10th student by using an ordered list of student ID numbers. Is the sample Whitney chose random? Why or why not? Well, she used a random number generator, right? And then she surveyed every 10th student. So if she's using a random number generator and she's surveying every 10th student, I would say yes, that is random. So I'm going to cross off the no's. And it says, yes, all surveys are unbiased. Well, no, we just did two that were biased, right? So can't be that one. And this is, yes, every student has an equal chance of being selected. This is exactly what it means for something to be random. Every person has an equal chance of being selected. So C in this case is the right choice. All right, so let's see if we can say yes to all of these questions. Can I explain what it means for a survey to be random? Can I identify the best sample for a survey? And can I determine if a sample is a good representation for a survey? Hopefully those are all yeses. The last letter of the quiz code this week is T as in trunk. T as in trunk. So quiz code is elephant, all lowercase. Don't forget to go in and take that week 13 quiz. If you have any questions, please email me and I will get back to you. Other than that, thank you so much for watching and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.